everyone, Ethan Ater here with Horizon Hobby, and in this video we're going to be looking at Blade's newest release, the 230S Smart. So in this video we're going to be doing a very brief unboxing as well as a general overview of the 230S Smart, just to explain what new features this model has. So let's go ahead and get started. So upon opening the box, you will see the 230S Smart manual. This is for the bind and fly and ready to fly, so go ahead and give that a read through. Depending on what transmitter you have, it has some great setups for any transmitter. Now, since this is the bind and fly version, you will see that the only thing in the box is the helicopter itself, as well as an extra hardware bag. This includes like zip ties, some extra Velcro, a couple linkages, things like that that you might either lose or just need replacing. Now, for those of you who purchased the RTF or ready-to-fly version of the 230S Smart, in the box along with the helicopter, you will see the DXS transmitter as well as the S120 charger and the IC3 to IC2 adapter for that charger, as well as the Spectrum G2 850 mAh 3-cell battery. Alright guys, now that we got the helicopter unboxed, let's go ahead and talk about the new features that the Blade 230S Smart has to offer. Alright, so with the canopy off the helicopter, you can see that mechanically the 230S Smart is no different than the previous 230S versions, which is great in the sense that if you have a previous 230S, you can use parts off of that airframe for this one in case you need replacements. Overall, it's a proven airframe, works really well, so that's good to see. As far as the electronics go, that's going to be a lot different, so let's go ahead and talk about that. Alright, so as far as the electronics go on this helicopter, Blade did a number of improvements to enhance your flying experience with the 230S Smart. So starting off on the servos, these are the Spectrum H3055Ms. So they are like the older 230S servos, however they have the new micro connector which allows them to plug into the new Flybarless unit that you will see on this helicopter. So if you're familiar with the 6250HX Flybarless unit that Spectrum previously came out with, then you're really going to like the AR6250M HXA. So it's basically a micro version of the 6250HX, which is great for the smaller helicopters such as the 230S. It allows for those smaller micro connectors to plug into the receiver, and it also doubles as a receiver so you don't have any extra antennas or wires getting in the way of a clean build on a small helicopter. So that's really cool. And just like the 6250HX, this Flybarless unit also supports the forward programming, so it makes tuning the helicopter very, very easy, as you can see here on the NX6. Another awesome thing to note about this Flybarless unit is that it receives the smart telemetry that the updated ESC with the IC2 connector transmits into the receiver, so it makes for very useful data whenever you're flying. One of the rather useful implementations of the smart technology on the 230S Smart is the fact that you will be warned if you plug in a battery that isn't fully charged into the helicopter. This essentially prevents you from possibly mistaking a fully charged battery for a partially charged battery and damaging it in the long run. As for the main motor and the tail motor, those are the only electronics that the 230S Smart shares with its older versions. So now that we've gone through all the electronics, let's go ahead and see this helicopter in action. Alright guys, now that we're at the field, let's go ahead and check out the 230S Smart. So first we'll be taking off in stability mode. Let's see how stable this is. So as you can see in stability mode, whenever I give an input and let off, it's going to basically level itself off. This is great for beginners for just cruising around. So let's go ahead and check out the front seat. So right off the bat, you can kind of see the tails wiggling a little bit, especially like whenever you get positive, negative. It wants to bounce a little bit. So what's great about this is you can go ahead and land the helicopter. You can go into forward programming. And you can actually adjust that right off the bat. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going into the normal, so flight mode 2. And we can see our proportionals high. Let's go ahead and back that down. Let's try 90. Take the eye gain down a little bit too, integral gain. Let's try 90 and 85. Let's see how that does. There we go.
That's better. For a beginner helicopter, it's super agile. As you can see, the stock settings, it's pretty nimble, especially for 3D. This helicopter is very impressive for being a beginner. So if you're starting out and you want a helicopter that can kind of grow with you as you go from training to 3D, then this helicopter is definitely for you. And what's cool about the smart stuff is we can see our minimums and maximums. So, you know, basically like voltage, like from the battery, basically milliamps consumed. So we have our battery bar right here. So you can see we still have a fairly decent amount of battery left, probably around 30% after that flight. So that's really impressive. So yeah, that's really cool.
Alright guys, now that we got a general overview of this helicopter as well as a flight video and a little sneak peek at the forward programming of the new Micro 6250 Flybarless unit, hopefully some of your questions have been answered, and of course if you have any more or you want to check out this helicopter more, you can always go to the links below, check out this helicopter online at horizonhobby.com. Hopefully you enjoy this video, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.